Well, I've just watched the video of me washing up, and after uploading it, after it's an hour from when I first started blowing up the tap or thereabouts. I've got an hour and a half before I need to go to the doctor's, so I need to eat that bread that's thawed out, maybe only 2 slices of it, because I don't know whether I'm hungry, but I don't know whether I could stomach both lots made into ham, cheese, onion, tomato. I don't know whether the cucumber will still be not rotten. Can't think of the right word. I'm still letting go and relaxing, and as I relax, the pain goes, because tension causes pain. So people who live with chronic pain tend to have the choice of learning to relax as much as possible when they can, or have to take a lot of painkillers or whatever. Some people can't take the painkillers that they could do with taking. I'm letting go again. By the time I've relaxed and let go of all the tension, preparing myself to get dressed and go to see the doctor. I need to brush my teeth as well. The doctor I'm seeing has been really nice to me lately, although he did have a bit of a go at me, thinking that I should take antibiotics for the skin condition, which is actually clearer today than it was the last couple of days. I told him that my skin will clear up when my health is better, when I'm able to adequately self-care, to feed myself properly, to eat a healthy diet, to have more energy to do things, so that I'm not stooping over the kitchen sink washing up. I mean, there are days where I can walk around and anyone would think there's nothing wrong with her, she's fine. Some days I can be actually in quite a lot of pain and utter exhaustion while they're looking at me and thinking I'm fine. And that's quite good, actually, in a way. I prefer not to be looked on and pitied all the time, but I would like support, and I do like it when someone seems to understand me. It's a nicer feeling than someone looking at you as if you're an arsehole, and it's all your fault. You know, you're just lazy or whatever they decide that you are, no matter what you are. I need a drink. Oh, just opening the bottle in the crook of my arm. I'm spilling it on myself. And dribbling. What a disgrace I am. I don't know whether I've actually said the points that I meant to say. Sometimes writing can be easier, and sometimes talking can be easier, and sometimes neither. Sometimes I can't express myself with either, and that's actually really distressing. It's more distressing than when I'm in a like when I was declared fit for work, and I manically wrote and wrote and wrote all over David Cameron's wall, all over the assessment letter, which incensed me so much, and I was in absolute pain, and my fingers were really, really hurting from typing and from writing. I actually got a callus on my finger and thumb, and I had to take painkillers because I couldn't relax, I couldn't let go. None of my normal methods that I used to... getting a bit passionate, and I realised I was tensing up again. None of my normal methods would work, so I couldn't sleep. All I could do was express my utter fear and try not to panic. It was embarrassing walking around Tesco's clutching a heart-shaped cushion to my stomach area. I got into a habit at that point, which I still do sometimes now, but it was a new habit, and I'd hold a cushion like this, and I found that I could walk around with it like that, wedged, I don't know whether you can see that, wedged between my arms, which was, I watched myself in a way doing this, and I was thinking, you're acting quite crazy, Elaine, and I was like, yeah, I know, but actually I feel quite frightened at the moment, and this cushion, even though rationally I do know that a cushion does not save you from the world or from people's opinions, in fact it's going to make them worse, I couldn't walk into Tesco's without it. I'd been clutching it like that on the settee and walking around my house like it, so going into Tesco's was absolutely terrifying. And they saw that. Bless them. I can't thank the staff in Milford Tesco's enough, actually, because they've been so kind to me. I've told them what difficulties I have. I've told them that sometimes I'm frightened to leave my house. I've told them that have been dealing with panic attacks, and all the staff that I've been served by have been kind to me in Tesco's in Milford. It's a smaller town, and whether they laugh at, even if they laughed at me behind their back, I wouldn't care, because they're kind to me to my face. And I must have really been the talk of the staff room the night I walked in, because I had a trolley. I can't walk around shops without a trolley. It's good support. It helps you actually walk around, and sometimes I can actually almost march around when the breathing's not bad. But I walked in, and I instead of going down the vegetable aisle, I went straight to the freezer department to get some chicken tikka masala ready meals, and I was going to try and go and get a few other things as well, and they were 3 for £4, so I put the 3 in my trolley, and then I needed some tobacco, and you could really criticise me for smoking tobacco, but actually at that time the breathing wasn't being a problem, and smoking tobacco is one of the things, smoking is one of the things that helps me to let go and relax. And actually my doctor agrees that under the stress I'm under, that even with the problems of that, it is not the time for me to stop. Actually, I only smoke about 1 or 2 a day at the moment, sometimes 3. At the time I think I was smoking quite a lot because I was losing it, and it was scary, and I could see I was losing it. And I can remember in the preparation to go, I walked around my kitchen with the one foot basically staying in the same place but moving around obviously with the rest of me. But I was circling. I didn't know what I was doing. It's scary when you get like that. And recalling it is a bit a little bit distressing, I suppose, because it brings back up the feelings of what I was going through at the time, only not to the extent of them, and not to hold and carry and keep with me. It's a kind of process where I find compassion for myself through remembering what I've actually gone through, and that I'm not pathetic like a lot of people try to tell me I am. And I'm not trying to string this along so that I can lounge about at home on shit money. And not go out and do the things that I really want to do, like travel and sell my stuff, sell my craft, sell my my things that I make and half make, and I've just lost the crochet hook for that. Oh well. And paint as well. I really want to paint. I was getting to the stage where I could maybe start painting again, and then I had the assessment. I'd been building myself up, I'd been facing my fears, I'd been making myself go out to gigs, and I'd been feeling safe enough, and I'd been building my confidence up, and I'd even taken my mum to hospital in near Swansea, which had been quite scary because I didn't know whether I could do it or not, and I'd got to do it for mum. A bit like when I had to go to the medical, or they would take the money away from me anyway. I managed to do it. I didn't manage to sleep the night before. I'd woken up at 11 o'clock the night before, and the appointment was about 10. He didn't notice that I was trembling, or if he did, he lied about it on the report when he was doing the physical examination, especially when I had to lie on the bed and assume the position that a woman assumes for a cervical smear or an intimate examination, and then you had to put your legs up, and my legs were going like that, and he said I did it without any trembling. And at the end of it, I'd asked in probably quite a small voice actually, "Can I sit down now, please?" after the standing up things, and I can't remember which way round it went, whether the lying down one was after it or not, but I was actually quite distressed when I came out of that examination, but I held it together until I got to my mum's, and then I had a cry and I had a smoke, and I felt a little bit better, and started letting it go. And because I could sit in a chair and I wasn't rocking, and I could hold a pen, and I could take things out of my handbag, because I showed him the photos of me doing the hair thing and then the acne and being in hospital, and he smiled when he looked at it. He actually, it was, I could not admit to myself while I was going through that, what was actually happening. The way he was treating me was horrible. I felt less than human. He wouldn't look at me for the first 10 minutes. And then when he did, he had such a smarmy smile. He reminded me of a Nazi doctor in films. And as soon as I noticed that, I had to push it back there and pretend that everything was all right, because I would have gone to pieces, which is probably what I should have done. But sometimes you just try and keep your dignity, especially when you've lost it so many times. Oh Jesus, that was I prefer not to focus on those times. I prefer to focus on what I can do and how fantastic it is when I can actually get myself through all this shit and find my vitality again, which I do. But that actually kind of goes against me in a way, and then I start fearing people seeing me with vitality, because I know I can't keep it up yet, which actually means I can't keep it up. So it's like I'm overcoming fear by fear by fear, and at some point I'll have overcome all the shit and all the fear, and I will actually find my vitality and maintain it, and be able to cook and clean and bathe myself and shop and actually have a life. That's my intention anyway.